Hey, beautiful people. Today I'm doing something a little bit special. My clients has had these beautiful long locks for years, but they're getting a bit heavy and pulling on her scalp. So we're doing a full transformation, cutting, retwisting and tidying up her style to make it light and fresh. This isn't just a haircut, it's about making her feel comfortable and confident in her own hair. So stick around to the end while I'll be sharing beautiful tips on how to go about cutting hair and my special techniques along the way. If you're looking to master these skills for yourself, keep an eye out for my total lock control course coming up in January. It's designed to give you the full toolkit for taking care of a whole lock journey. So first things first, I'm starting my cutting in sections, beginning from the back. Is essential to keep control over the shape and length. It makes the whole process feel more balanced. So I start with the first one, and that's going to be my guideline. I do a guideline on both sides, and it's important that she's sitting, in a straight position because you have to be very careful. So to ensure that the line stays smooth, keeping the right amount of tension really helps prevent frizz and make sure that each cut is clean. And if you're doing this at home, make sure you use sharp shears. Dull scissors can lead to split ends and frayed ends. So like if you see, I'm trying to make sure that even while I'm cutting, I'm keeping the tension quite loose, because if you pull it and then you cut, you find that when you let it go, it will sort of ricochet back and give you shorter uneven cut. So after the first one, I'm just tidying up the line here. Then I will go on and open another section, taking the first section that I've done as my guideline. So you just take what you're comfortable with and what will just sit nicely without being too much for you or for your shears to cut at a time. So yeah, if you see, I've just taken just a tiny little bit, not much at all, so that I can see. And then remember, we're gonna take note of the tension. We're gonna be intentional about this. I think the camera, now that I look at it, is a bit at an angle, but yeah, and we're getting there. Like for me, looking at it, it's so satisfying. It was so satisfying to do this cut, So we're still going on. We've taken the next section on top and still cutting in that way. And while I'm doing this, going on with this, look at it. It's just so beautiful. So now I'm taking a bit more to the side. So we want to make sure that we're keeping it level. We don't want it to be like, you don't want to overextend to the front, because when you bring it to the back, it's going to be either too short or too long. So you have to now be careful about this part. So she just wanted it, I think, above the shoulders, just at the shoulders. But what I do when I'm cutting, I make sure I just make it the slightest bit longer, and then possibly when you finish, you can now tidy up. Because if you do try and go for what this is where there's a problem most times, where people that have their hair either cut in dreadlocks or afro curly cuts get too much cut off because of that cutting too much, and then by the time you're finished, it's too short. So we finished our cut. I did a bit of a length check at the front, and it's just looking nice and good. And we're gonna do a retwist. We're gonna retie it. So she's had these dreadlocks for a long time. I've been tending to her dreadlocks. We normally go through the interlocking method, and I cut first because some people would think, why didn't you lock it first before you actually cut? Well, one, it would save time, because trying to retwist, normally a retwist take us about it could take us 6 hours when there's like a proper length of time, when there's a proper regrowth. Let's say about 3 months regrowth, it takes us that amount of time, because the locks were so long that just even the hand motion to put it back inside was like really something. So if you imagine, let's say we have 150 dreadlocks, and it's taking us so amount of time. Let's say, I've not done the math really, but let's say it's taking us about a minute or 2 minutes to do each dreadlock, because for example, for now I'm retwisting the base. We do the sections, we do the parting. It depends on how in depth you want to go, how sharp we want the partings to go. Here I'm not doing like a crazy too defined parting. I do that, let's say, every 2-3 times. Every 2-3 times that we lock, or every other time we lock, so that it's not all the time and it doesn't put too much tension on the scalp all the time, trying to remove the parts of the partings that have gone into other parts. So now, as I'm retwisting, I'm using a gentle method here with a little bit of product to hold each twist without putting too much stress on her roots. We have to be really careful about that. It's about finding balance where it's firm enough to hold but soft enough to keep the scalp happy and healthy. I find when I see some people, they put so much product on the scalp. It can work for some clients, and yes, it can make it look shiny initially, but you have to think about in the long term, what's happening to the scalp. The scalp might be suffocating, product is not going to get in there, and it's not necessary. Like most of these products for locking, if it's a good lock product, all you need is just the tiniest little bit. I use a little bit of water just to, because once hair has a bit of water, it's more pliable, and then when you put the product, you know that there's moisture in there before you actually apply the product. So it just makes the hair healthier in the long run, and making sure that you're not putting too much product on this hair. So that like I was saying, now we've just sprayed on a little bit of water, just the slightest bit. You don't have to oversaturate, just so that you know that there's just some bit of dampness in there. Going with my little product, this is the holding gel. I'll put it in the comments in case you would like to use it, and I like it because you just need a little bit of product. Like I told you, this time I'm not doing like proper lines, but this is as good as any, but I can make it even sharper if I needed to. But no, we're trying to make it quick so that we can finish a bit quicker today. She's going for a wedding, so no time to waste at all. Like I was saying, finding the balance takes practice, but it's totally achievable. If you're looking to really master the art of lock care, you can register your interest for my total lock control course, which in the next course is in January. It covers everything from foundational techniques to the finishing details, so you can confidently care for locks and be able to maintain, create and care for locks depending on where you want to start your journey. So I'll have that link in the description, and also you can see it on the website, and I think it's just going to be beautiful. It's all practical. You can join from anywhere in the world. It is quite intense, so if it's not if you're just like, oh, I just want to look at videos, no, it's quite interactive, because you would have assignments, and after you see the videos, I would need practical proof, because it's certified, so that we know that you actually know what you're doing when you're having that certificate. So we go on and finish off this retwist, and I'm just taking it very slow. I do the I call it 2-point turn, not the 4-point most times. So I go from just two sides. This gives you not as tight locks as if you did the 4 points. So, and this is what works. I don't believe in anything that is tight, and just now, quite simply, all the loose hairs, just twist them back in, and just make it look nicer. She's got this hair that's just wants to frizz here. But on the other hand, if we did the 4-point, it could help with that frizz, but she just prefers it this way. So yeah, that is what we're dealing with, and that's all the way to the end. Oh, look at that. A bit of palm rolling. I'm just showing you what I do from the start to the finish of each one, just to show the transformation, you know. And while we're doing our locks, we always have beautiful conversations, whatever we're doing here, because people have to feel comfortable, you understand? And whoever your clients are, they become your, you know, like your mates, because you see at least every 3 months. So you see 4 times in a year. Some of your friends you don't even get to see in that time. So if you look at the bottom of this now, I say bottom, at the scalp, like why I do the comb twist for interlocking is it just helps the scalp. I say comb twist, the comb, use the comb at the bottom just to put the hair together, and you see that it now follows the natural curl pattern of that hair. So if you see this as well, it naturally curls in. So that's how you do it. Like if once you do it, you use the comb, twist it round, it just makes it sit nicely, and it just sets you up for a nice interlock. So I'm using my lovely tool. I love these tools, but if you have too thick a top, it's not going to come through. And then you also have to be careful when you're retwisting, because you want to get it quite close to the scalp, but you want to be careful that it's not so close that it hurts, because there's sometimes that you can force the hair through, but it's really, you know, at the end. So that is how I do my retwist. It's really like would I say a full course or tutorial, but that's it. It's fine as far as you understand how to do it. But if you are not able to get everything here, like I said, come join us on the site, and then yeah, there's so much we could do there. There's a members area, there's beautiful templates just to help support you on maintaining locks or afro hair in general, maintenance, things like that. So I would really want to see you there. I want you to come. I would like your opinion as well, and your comments in the comment section of what you think and what you would like to see from me. So this is me now when I'm doing my hair or doing people's hair. Just like to admire it as I'm going on, just proud of that work, you know, because it does take, I won't say take time, but it's a labor of love, you understand? So that's why I'm actually here trying to educate more people about it, you know. So it's something that if you would want to become like a loctician, because locks is really in, because people are embracing their natural hair right now, the way that the locks grow out of their scalp, and this is really beautiful. But we need more people to actually understand how to take care of these hair types, and it's not just artificial surface stuff we're talking about. You need to understand it. The hair types are so varied that the information and understanding it can be a chore, but with practice, like with anything, and the right information, like when I do things, I like to try and look at proof, one, that I've done myself, experience proof of what other people have done, and then scientific proof as well about these things, so that we're not just going around in circles, and also being open-minded that look, things change in this natural hair streets. So be open, because it's just like science. Before aeroplanes, they used to call things like that witchcraft, and now it seems like normal. So yeah, there's no one size fits all. We just need to be a bit open-minded, open to learn different ways to work with different people's hair and different hair types. So that's just it, nice and beautiful. My whole aim is to empower individuals, inspire individuals, obviously to love their afro and curly hair in all its versatile forms, to empower stylists and hair professionals to understand these hair types better, so they can also inspire other Afro-curly individuals, and then to elevate with the knowledge of my experience and what I have accumulated in my over 15 years as a hairstylist, and also over 20 years of actually intentionally managing my own Afro-curly hair. So it's just been a lovely, beautiful journey, and I so enjoy this. And as I said, the conversation is beautiful. We sit down, we're watching. Who knows what we're watching this time? I think it was one of these couples reality shows now. Not Blind Date. It's something from South Africa. Oh, Gigi, remember, it was so interesting. If you can get to watch it, seriously, you will enjoy it. But yeah, so we have food, we have teas and coffees, we have Netflix ready to watch, and I'm not the one that does the selection. It's normally my sweet friend in the chair, because I can't make up my mind. So yeah, The Ultimatum, South Africa, that's what we were watching. If you're into that, into that reality TV thing, I'm not so much, but I was really invested in it, and I can't wait to watch another one as well. So we're getting to the top, we're getting to the ends, and just tidying up, showing you how, sometimes this does happen, so you have to be mindful. And yeah, untangle that and just go on and really finishing this one off. Like I said, I'm not doing a proper pattern, like really making it quite neat. It was just like sectioning it just a bit, but not going in and making it really straight. Like I said, for me, when we work with hair types or different people's head, you have to sort of, like, I do things every 2 appointments. So possibly proper sectioning would be 2 to 3 appointments down the line. So I would do something like this for first, second, then the third one, I would go in and do more, sharper patterns, so yeah, and make the patterns just pop. And why do I do that? Because we don't want to be doing it all the time. We don't want to be causing too much tension. That's what I feel personally, especially for people who have sensitive scalps. So that is it. I think we're actually done. I'm just going to go around, look at everything that needs to be done, whether there's any hair that needs to go back in there, and just really tidying up. So I'm just going over the retwist, going for the final tidy up to see if all the hairs are in, and I think that's all our retwist done. It's looking nice and neat. She's got a wedding she's going to, so it's going to be an updo style. So once this retwist is done, I go in for a final tidy up cut to get rid of any stray hairs and make sure everything looks neat. Remember, we've retwisted, so there might have been a change in the length, which you can see here compared to before. And she said she wanted it shorter, so now I'm just going in and just tidying it up, making sure it's about the size she wants. And now if you notice, I'm just flipping it a bit, because the hair on the inside, if I don't make it just the slightest bit shorter, when it rests on her shoulders, it will make those hair just flip in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. So the hair inside, just make it the tiniest bit shorter, so it allows the dreads to just fall in. So that is our cut. We're all done, and yes, we're feeling pleased, we're feeling happy, and we're good to go. Just a bit of an oil. Remember, we've been spraying water for moisture, and just a little bit of the retwist gel, but the oil now goes on top. Remember, please, no oil without moisture. No oil without moisture. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All done. And results. And I can't wait for you to come and join us on the Afro Curly Hair Coach site, join our membership area, or follow me on any of my Instagram handles, which the main one is the Afro Curly Hair Coach. See you soon and take care. Bye.